Very good morning, everybody. This is Bank Holiday Monday. So today, folks, unfortunately, Bro isn't going to be here with me today. I'm on my own. Well, I thought it was going to be my own, but Richard, our official photographer, is going to come out with us today. Today, we're going to go looking for St. Martin's stone. Yeah! Where we're going today then is actually this one here, so it says Martin Stone. That is where we're going to be heading today. So it's not very far, just a little jaunt today. Right folks, we've arrived here, but it could be a bit of a disaster. Could be a bit of a disaster here because the crops are knee high. And I don't know if you're allowed to kind of walk up fields where the crops are like that. So we're going to go and have a look, but it doesn't look very good here, I'm afraid. Sorry in the distance, folks. That's where the stone is. Oh no, it's not looking good at all, man. Well folks, it doesn't look too bad actually. I think the crops are just kind of on the up to my ankle, but they're up to Richard's ear level, so I think we should be okay. Well, I just don't know. I mean, look, there's tracks here, but no, I think we should be okay if we take it carefully. Right, we're going to go for it, Richard, do you think? Right, here we go, folks. We are coming up towards St. Martin's stone. Look at Richard ploughing on there. He's going to be the first to touch it, isn't he? Right, Multi Trepidatione, here it is, folks, St. Martin's stone. We found it. Excellent, there it is. Now, unfortunately, it does look a little bit the worst for wear. But I'm going to get in there. I'm going to touch St. Martin's stone. There it is, look at that. Excellent. Right, as you can see, this area has been fenced off because it's one of these protected stones. There we go, look at this. And I've actually just touched it. There it is. Excellent. Well, as you can see, folks, the stone's only kind of got this one clear sort of hieroglyphic on it almost. It's just like a horse. But that's about it really. The rest of the stone, there's something down the bottom here. I think this is the dragon. This is the dragon down here. I'm going to tell you this story just shortly about this, folks. So this is about all we've really got on it. There's nothing on the other side. So anyway, there we go. Right. So the story about St. Martin and the dragon goes like this. St. Martin, or Martin as his name was then, was just a local farmer, and he had 9 daughters, or maidens. And he sent them one day to go and get water from this very spot, and the first one went away and never came back. He sent the second one, she never came back. Third one never came back. You get the gist now. So the 9th one went away, never came back. So he thought, well, what the hell's going on? So he went to this very spot here, and he found there was a massive dragon that had eaten all his maidens. The 9 maidens had been scoffed. So what he did was he went back and he got himself a sword and a pitchfork, and he came back up here and he slew the dragon. But when he came here, a crowd of people from the villages down the road there came up with him, and as he was striking the dragon, they kept saying to him, "Strike Martin, strike Martin," and that is why this place is called Strath-Martin. It's basically just a bastardisation of the word strike Martin. It now means Strath-Martin, and that's the story of why the 9 Maidens pub just down the road there, well, about 4 or 5 miles away, is called the 9 Maidens. So it's all to do with the dragon. The dragon in the centre of Dundee is in fact the very dragon that St. Martin slew. So there we go, folks, the story of St. Martin and the dragon, and why this area is called Strath-Martin. I thank you very much indeed. God, I've fallen over. Oh. Disaster. Right, come closer. Just back a wee bit. No, that's fine. There's a run-in. Right, on the spisometer, folks, this stone is something I've been meaning to see for ages and ages, so it gains an extra mark for that. Access is fairly easy. Research, I enjoy doing that. So, for these reasons alone, folks, this stone on the spisometer is going to get a 4. 4 out of 10. Thank you very much indeed. St. Martin's stone! Yes! Right, folks, well, we were going to go into the Ducot first of all, but in true SPiS fashion, somebody turned up and were just very rude and barged straight in there. So, never mind. We're going to go and see the Teeling Souterrain first. Now, we've been here a few times before. It's actually the scene of one of SPiS's first adventures out, or one of my first days out kind of thing. So it's always good to come back here and have a little look, a bit of a nostalgia trip, and it's good to show Richard some stuff as well, because he's never been, he never gets out much, so it's a shame. So folks, the Teeling Earth House through this forest. Here we go. Right, here we go, folks. Then now once again, Richard's doing a photo shoot thing here. So we're going over, and that's us over now. We are officially at the Teeling Earth House now. Here we go. It's a wonderful area, this. It's nice, and see when you get through that foresty bit, you've got the hills in the background there. Just wonderful. And of course you can see the mast, the radio and the TV mast that you always see from the other side as well when you're lost in the world. Well, lost in this part of the world anyway, you can always see that, and you always know where you are. You get a sense of warmth and well-being. You know you're almost home when you see the lights off the Octa House mast. Here it is though, folks. I'm actually inside the enclosure now, but Richard's told me to go back out again and come back in because he wants to film me coming in, honestly. Right, so I've got to pretend I'm coming back in again. Right, are you ready for me, Richard?
Here we go.
Right. Oh, here we are coming through the, this is what they call a kissing gate, this kind of thing, because it kisses one end and the other. So I'm actually, oh, here I am, I'm actually inside the enclosure now for the first time. Here I am. And as you can see, the Teeling Souterrain, as I described out there, it's actually exactly what I said it was going to be. It's more or less just a cellar area where they stored like grain and a few cattle. They wouldn't have actually stayed in here. It would have just been like a place where they came and bunged all their wheat and their bits and pieces. But very similar structures were found in Brittany, Cornwall, that sort of area. So it's all over these places, these souterrains. A great, fantastic structure. Because as I said, it must have spread right up the UK, these kind of dwellings and these sort of areas. Fantastic, love them. As you can see, there's a picture here of what they would have been like. So there we go, you see it had a sort of a conical kind of thing, and this is the floor plan of the place. So there we go. We're going to go into the... Is it okay if I go in now, Richard, or do you want me to go in again? No, is it okay now? You don't want me to pretend I'm going in again? Right, we're in. We are in. Now there's a couple of stones in here. Where are they now? There's one there, right in the bottom. This souterrain was actually discovered by accident in 1871, when they were just sort of like doing some sort of exploratory sort of digging here, and they found this by accident. So there's a nice stone here with a circular circular thing on it. As you can see, look at that. It's got a lovely swirly pattern on it. Look at that. Lovely. Don't know why that stone would have been useful. Actually, I wonder if there could have been a pattern on this side. It's like a double stone. Now, look at the stones here, right? The bottom stones are nice and large. They would have been like the foundations almost stones. And as they work their way up, they have like thinner stones. It's like dry stone diking. And then, of course, you get to the top again, and there are these rather thick sort of stones up here. And then, as you come up here, we have this fantastic stone. Look at this. It's like a Pictish stone almost. Right here. Here we go. And to the other side. There we go, look. Made it. Super. Right folks, here we are. This is the Ducot. Now that is us going in. Oh, it's very dark in here. Oh, we're in though. Look at this Ducot, folks. It's actually really well preserved. It's fantastic. Look at all the wee nests for the dews. Brilliant. Very well soundproofed. SPiS! Not an echo at all, man. Wow, weird.
You've got a great idea.
Right, you always have great ideas, Richard. Now, here we are at the Teeling Ducot, folks. Now, I am something of an expert when it comes to Ducots, and I bought a book about the subject, so I can tell just by looking at this one, the shape and the materials used. This was probably built in about the 1500s, probably the 1580s. Ducots come in all shapes and sizes, but they basically serve the same purpose: to breed, to feed, and to nurture doos, pigeons, those kind of birds. And they also were used for messages. It was probably the first sort of form of mobile communication back in the days, as you can see, folks. Now there's a monogram above the door there, the lintel. Let's see what that's all about. I think it's got something to do with the people who actually owned it or made it. As you can see, let me just focus. There we go. You can see there's an L, a D, an M. I can't remember the actual names of the people. Well, there you go. Oh, actually, it does tell you. There we are, look. Oh, Sir David Maxwell, that's it. And of his wife, Helen. So there we go. Helen, Maxwell and David is on the lintel. There we go. I'm trying to do a video now, or a picture of a long exposure, which I just stand here. Again, it's taken ages to do it because he's got the settings all wrong. And, right, we're going to do it now, Richard, are we?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Do it. Oh, Hugh! Right, that's it. Right. Above the door. Now, they all basically say the same. Oh, they don't. They do. Hang on. The same sort of thing. Keeping pigeons and doos and all sorts of other wild, hairy beasties, like Richard, for example. The 1500s, probably 1580s. I would recommend. Yes, I would indeed. Now, folks, I am. Excuse me. Oh, Richard. Now, I am something of an expert when it comes to Ducots, folk. The 1500s, 1580 something, and they all basically served the same. Oh, fucking good job! Shapes and sizes. They all save. Oh, I've done it again. Oh, and the materials used. Ducots come in all shapes and sizes. They all basically save. Oh, I've done it again. I cannot believe it, man. Right, that's it. Well, material. Oh dear, no. Back we go.